Welcome to episode 4 of Yer Joking Aren't Ya, the official Boro podcast with me big mate David Wheater, myself Craig Hignett, and I'm delighted to say we've got two great guests on this episode. Matt Crooks, Tommy Smith. Welcome, lads.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Well, to be fair, we didn't have you. You were invited.
So. I was trying to be polite.
How are you anyway? So you have had... Really, we'll talk about the end of the season, then we'll go back to your time at Boro. You have had mixed fortunes at the end of the season. Obviously, Tommy, I'll start with you. Achilles injury, decided to retire. I don't think you had any option, did you, but to retire?
Yes, it was sort of taken out my hand a little bit, but do you know what? I've said it before, I'll say it again now, it sort of helped me a little bit, because I think that when you have an injury and you sort of, people are saying, oh, you could potentially come back and blah, 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 it would be in my nature to try my best to get back fit again. But I think having spoke to the surgeon, and he's top specialist in the country, and he sort of said to me, listen, this is where you're at, this is where you're going to be at, and you've got to think of the rest of your life. And he took it out of my hands, and like I say, it made it a little bit easier, and it made the decision to retire a little bit more comfier for me, knowing that the top guy in the country was sort of advising me against it. So that made it a little bit easier, but it's been tough. It has been tough, it's something that you do for your whole life, and something you work hard to sort of get to where we all get to as professional footballers. So to have that taken away, it has been difficult. But the club have been great. The club have been really good and made the transition for me as smooth and as easy as it can be.
Did you have a feeling, or so after surgery, when you go back and you start doing a little bit of rehab, did you know at that point that even though he'd said it, that there was no chance?
Well, it's been a long process. I mean, I ruptured my Achilles in 2023, so it's nearly a couple of years ago now. September, I think it was, 2023.
Batiste game, wasn't it?
It was
the Batiste
no,
game.
No. It was Birmingham in the league. That was a different injury.
Was it?
As you get older, you pick up injuries, don't you? You pick up a lot of injuries. But I got injured pre-season at my ankle, and then I got done my Achilles in September. It was Rooney's first game as Birmingham boss. So I got the injury then, and it's just gradually rehabbing, and it got to a point where I just wasn't making the progress that I should have been making. So went down to London to see the guy and said, where are we at? And that's when he said, listen, you're not improved. We need to do surgery, and you need to start looking for the rest of your life now. And whilst that sort of hits you like a ton of bricks, it was good to get a bit of clarity, to be honest with you, because like I say, I was rehabbing for nothing really. So yeah, it was tough, but I'm getting there now. I'm getting my head around it.
See, I think that's the worst injury you can have as a footballer, because I've had both Achilles operated on. I know what it's like, and when you go in every day and you're working nuts off, and you're not getting any better, and you think, well, what's going on here? How long is this going to go on for? I think I had 3 months without anything before I had it done. So you've come to terms with, obviously, you're 33 now. Listen, if that would have happened at 26, would you think it would be worse?
I can sort of see both sides of it, because I can see at 26 you've got longer to sort of do it. Listen, I think my age certainly was a big factor in the terms of retiring. I think there's lads who've had Achilles injuries at this club at the minute that are going through the rehab, and I think they're in a lot better place than I am, because as we've just said, when you get a little bit older in your career, it's harder to manage the injuries, isn't it? It's harder to come back from them. So I can see both sides of it. Listen, I've been very fortunate. I've had a really good career, successful career. To sort of finish like I have done is disappointing, but I've been a lucky one, mate. I've been lucky to have the career I've had and play the games I've played, and the experiences I've had. So it's just one of them things.
Have you got any plans for after?
He's got his TV again already.
Yeah, no, I've been doing.
Yeah, he should be interviewing you.
Could be our third host.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Do you pay well, like?
No.
You should have stopped at, does it pay?
No, I've been doing a bit of media. Yeah, I've done a little bit of coaching, a bit of media. I'm just trying to keep busy, because as you'll all, I'm sure you'll agree with, when you're a footballer, you become institutionalised, don't you, in terms of your regime and your routine, and I think that's the one thing that I've really been thinking about a lot, and where I probably struggle is losing that regime. So I've been trying to do a little bit, like I say, a little bit of coaching, a little bit of media, and yeah, we'll just see. I'm looking forward to a little bit of a break, being at home and not having to train. But I think when the lads come back for pre-season, it'll probably hit me then.
Yeah.
Like, right, I need to do something now.
I was looking forward to that break. Team Mrs. starts up. She gets on you. dishwasher, washing, she'll be on you, pal. Yeah, isn't it? Oh,
I don't know. I think when I retired, I was in between missuses. I think. I think that's the way you have to work it. You have to go in between when you're bored. What about you, Crooksy? Because you had an unbelievable end to the season. You obviously Hull had a real struggle up end of season. Looked really dodgy and dicey. Everyone started winning, but you had to score last game of the season. Keep them up.
Yeah, it was good. It was a mad end to the season. All the bottom teams like winning. I think if you looked at the form table, you probably look at the bottom four would definitely be in the top half. So yeah, there was a point where you thought we're probably all right here, and then with a game to go, we were in the bottom three. So yeah, it was a long day, but I think we knew with about 15 minutes to go, if we just kept the point, then we'd be safe. So we just kind of dug in and seen it out. But yeah, it was a nice moment to have with the fans. It was obviously, it's not a celebration; it's almost like a relief in it of just staying up. But I think you've half kind of got to celebrate because those are those moments out there that you can kind of.
Well, they feel like massive games, don't they? You know, you've got a last game, everything riding on it. It's one of them games where you want to play in.
They are brilliant, though, aren't they? I mean, from a player's point of view, I'm sure you don't look at it like that, but certainly from us probably watching from the side, you look at it and it's unusual on the last day for it to have that much riding on it, isn't it? You know.
Well, it's both ends though. So now the playoffs, I think there was teams right down to about 14th that all had a shout of getting in the playoffs at some point in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and then the bottom, there must have been 5 or 6 teams who were all looking over the shoulder.
I think this season there were a lot of teams that were like very close in how they were playing. It was just, I think it was obviously the top 3 that were the standouts where they'd gone, but the rest was quite bunched up, and there wasn't much between the teams, I don't think, in the league, and I think that showed in the totals. I think, what was it, 3 or 4 teams on 49, it was just goal difference that kept us up. So yeah, listen, it was a long 6 months, but it was exciting in a way, and I'm glad it's over now.
What do you think next season? What are your chances for next season?
It's a championship, innit? I think the club's ambitious. They brought in a lot of good players. We brought in a lad from Monaco, his Champions League team, a centre mid, a young lad, and he did his ACL in February. They had a couple more ACLs as well, so they'll be coming back into the squad. I'm sure they'll be looking to add to it. But the core of the squad's decent, but obviously they need to add to it if we want to kind of push on, because we're seeing this season that we're probably not quite there. Yeah, it's a tough league.
Do you see the bottom teams who've come down from the Premier League as being the ones who are going to be up there anyway this season? The gulf for me is getting bigger, I think.
It certainly is going up. I think coming down, I think it's funny, I was actually chatting to one of my good friends this morning, Conor Cody, who's at Leicester, and he was saying about it's a big summer for them, you know, in terms of what they're going to do. And
well, they might lose points as well, mightn't they, when they're coming
exactly
down?
This is what we were chatting about. You know, he said there's a few players out of contract, obviously. Vardy's gone. It's a big summer for him, but I think it counts for all 3 teams. I think there's a big summer for Southampton. Bear in mind, they've got no manager. You know, it's going to be a big summer for Ipswich. Are they going to lose the lap? And there's always a massive sort of window, you know, these next 6, 7, 8 weeks to get it right and to put you in a good position when you're going into the new season. And it'll be no different for the promoted teams. You know, Leeds, Burnley and whoever it is on Saturday when the playoff final is, they've got to get it right, because like you say, that gap now is getting big.
Yeah, because did you play in a playoff final, didn't you?
Yeah, we won the playoff final, yeah, on penalties. But that playoffs, I mean, we went into that playoffs with Huddersfield, definitely the outsiders, 100%. Fulham were in there at the time, who were top, really good side. That was when, what's the big fella's name? Jukanovic was the manager at Fulham, and they were a top side. And we knew at the time, it was almost like it was, we felt it, but we didn't say it. If we'd have got Fulham in the semi-finals, they'd have done us. Over 2 legs, they'd have done us, because that season, they beat us 5-0. They comfortably beat us twice. And we thought if we get them in the semis, it's going to be tough. But we managed to avoid them. We beat Sheffield Wednesday over 2 legs and then got Reading in the final. And even though we beat them on penalties, we knew we could do Reading. But what I'm saying is, playoffs are playoffs. You just never know, do you?
Matt, did you ever get close to the playoffs or the finals? And
Not the championship one, no. Obviously we got to the semis here with Boro. That was probably a big chance to get to the Premier League, I think.
That team should have won it, shouldn't it?
Yeah, that squad should have gone up. I mean, you played more than me. You played more than me, didn't you?
Do you know what I feel about that season? Again, what you just said there, and I think Sunderland. I never fancied Sunderland to get past Cov because I worry for teams who sit in the playoffs. No, who just sit in there for such a long time. I always feel like the team who gets a bit of momentum coming late are a side that you need to be careful of. And I think we did that, didn't we? That first season when the manager come in, we went from 17th and we just rocketed up the league. Yeah. Like the football we played, the results, everything. It was like we were a proper team, team.
Well, that was the team that if you went a goal down or 2 goals down, I wasn't bothered because I thought they're going to score.
We were blowing teams away. Yeah. We were blowing with the squad we had, the camaraderie we had between the lads. The amount of times he'd come off the bench and was scoring goals. And I think to be successful in any team, you've got to have that togetherness, and we had that. But the problem we had was that towards the end of the season, we were in the playoffs, and we knew we couldn't catch the top 2. Yeah. We knew we weren't going to drop out of the playoffs. We were just sort of sat there in no man's land, weren't we, a little bit? Yeah. And I think we lost a little bit of momentum. Yeah. I'll be honest, I think we lost a little bit of momentum.
Did you always feel like the season was done up until that point, until the playoffs came?
A little bit, yeah. I think subconsciously you do, don't you?
Probably a little bit, yeah. I remember we played Luton away. That was when Tuba got he got the award, didn't he? So he went to that on the night. And it was like the Joey's team. I remember it was like me, Mount. It was like me, Moet, Dan played, Bowles played.
It's not a bad Joey team, though. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Matt Bowles played like in the hole. Do you not remember?
I remember the game, yeah.
And we lost, but we battered them. And I thought,
I remember the game.
If they're in the playoffs, we'll blow these away because this is our Joey's. We lost, but
cracky word at the Joys, isn't it? When you don't play in a game, you're training with the Joys.
What did you used to call yours? Bomb squad.
Joys, not Joys.
The Joey squad.
Bomb squad, yeah.
The Lego squad. Yeah, the Lego squad as well.
The bomb squad's a shocker, though, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, it's one of them phrases. You're just a bit like, oh, it makes me cringe a little bit now when you hear it.
It's from Joey's a baby kangaroo, isn't it?
Yeah. I think. Good knowledge. Good for you there.
They're not friends.
No. Yeah. Do you remember signing for the Boro? Do you remember who phoned you? Or
yeah,
was
it was walking me dog, you rang me.
Because I think you were here first, weren't you?
Yeah, I was
so Neil Warnock had signed you. Obviously, he knew you. Yeah. And it was Chris Wilder. You came on loan, didn't you, first?
No, I was a free agent. Yeah. Right. I was at Stoke before. Left Stoke after 3 years, and it wasn't even a case of me coming here and sort of, we want to sign you. It was almost like I know Chris relatively well anyway before I come here. And he rang me and just said, listen, do you want to come and do a bit of training pre-season? So I was like, yeah, of course, no problem. So I've come up here, done a few weeks, liked the group, liked the place, got on well with Chris, and just signed a year deal with not really the full intention of coming here and starting. He made that clear to me. Izzy was the wing back in his position, and he said, I need you to push him. I want you to be sort of cover. I was like, yeah, let's go for it. Thought that the club were heading in the right direction. Had a hell of a chance of getting promoted again. So I was like, yeah, let's go for it. And then I don't even know how long it was. How long was it? About 3 or 4 months. He'd left, hadn't he, the manager?
Yeah.
So it was a bit like, it was a bit up in the air. But then obviously Michael come in, and it's funny because Chris signed me. Didn't play one game under Chris. Played a cup game. Michael come in, and I played every game. Yeah. So it's just football. It's bizarre how it works for you like that.
Are they very different? So you've had Neil Warnock, Chris Wilder, and Michael.
Yeah. Very different, yeah.
All of them?
Yeah, all very different characters, different ways of playing. But they've all got their own unique qualities that they can bring to the table. I enjoyed playing under all of them, to be fair. Played in different positions under all of them as well.
Yeah, well, you did, didn't you? So you'd play centre midfield, you'd play a little bit further forward, then you'd play as a striker as well. Yeah. What do you prefer?
I play midfield.
Because I remember you as a midfielder. Yeah. I remember watching you for Accrington. You were on loan there.
I was a holding midfielder to begin with. And it's kind of, yeah.
That's weird, isn't it?
To be fair, making my championship debut.
What? I've been waiting for this to come up. Ask him where he played on his championship debut.
Centre half. Did you? Yeah, right back 3.
He kept me out of the team.
Yeah, he couldn't get he was on the bench. He was on the bench.
So honestly, that day, Bournemouth, remember? Bournemouth. It was the first game of the season, and all pre-season, I'm thinking I'm a shoe in here for right. It was Mark Robbins was the manager, back 3, and I was the right side centre half. I'm thinking, first game of the season, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it was the week before. Right, will his team line up in the bibs or whatever?
No, we played Newcastle, right? This is what it was. We played Newcastle at the stadium, and I was worldly. I reckon that got me in, yeah.
It might have done.
Yeah.
Well, I must have been bad. I must have been poor, because he's gone from like centre mid or whatever he was, a couple of years younger than me, to right side centre half in the first game of the season. And I'm on the bench. I was thinking, how has he got in there right side centre half? He's a midfielder. but got walloped 4-0.
Never played again. Yeah.
Never played again and got the manager the sack. He got sacked the next day, Mark Robbins.
Yeah.
Did you mind being versatile? Because a lot of times players, I did it myself where I played right and left and in the middle sometimes and then up front. And it used to do my head in a little bit.
No, I think because of the size, mate, like I think centre-back just seems like a natural position, like Weeks, for example. Like, just put him back.
Yeah, but you couldn't put him up front. Have you seen him up front? It's
I started up front, you know.
Yeah, I know. Where did you end up?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah.
Exactly. But it's like Dale Fry's going the other way.
But that's unusual with him because I never seen him as a defender because he can handle the ball.
Yeah.
He's good with the ball.
Maybe that's why they done it. Thinking, well,
Maybe.
if you put him there, he can handle the ball and we can start
play out,
playing out a little bit.
But yeah, I see myself as midfield still.
Yeah.
Like,
where have you been playing for Hull?
Midfield. Yeah, I did a little bit in the 10, but mostly midfield. Yeah, he played a 4-3-3 and I was playing in the midfield, so that's just where I see myself. I'm not overly technical. I can play, but I'm not overly technical. But I can get around the pitch and put the tackles in, whatever. Try to get a few goals. So yeah, I'd say I'm a midfielder. Like.
Do you find it harder getting over 30, getting around the pitch or not? Well, you're all right.
No, I'm all right at the minute.
He's always been fit though.
Yeah.
He's
at the minute,
So you're one of them in pre-season who can just run.
Yeah, it's my favourite week, innit? All the running and all that.
Yeah. You'd hated that,
I
wouldn't
was
you?
always at the back. I hated them ones at the front. Gary O'Neill. Boring thing he was, yeah. He was always at the front.
That's him. That was him. Just. Do you know what was funny?
Woody's a bit like that though. Woody was
Must be the non-4 pair, eh? Yeah, that's what
Do
it
you know
is.
what was funny about you and credit goes to you, mate? Because I remember when we played, trained together at Huddersfield, he was never like far and away the best runner. And then when we come to Middlesbrough, obviously he'd been here a couple of years previous to me. When I signed here and we'd done the running, I didn't really expect much of him. Because I spoke to him, but I hadn't seen him for a while. Knew he could play. Still didn't know what his position was. But when we'd done the runs with Chris Wilder on the track down the bottom, he was, I was going to swear, I can't swear on it, can you? He was flying. He was flying round the track. And I was thinking, do you know what, good for you, because he's a big fella.
Yeah, he is.
And you think normally when you're a big guy, it's hard to sort of carry that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he was flying around the pitch.
Did you work on it or was it just natural?
No, so when I left Huddersfield, I was kind of at a crossroads really. I had 3 options. I could go to Cambridge on an 18-month deal, Aki on a 6, or I could go to Iceland on like a summer league, just as like 6 months. So I went to Aki and I thought if I just try and get as fit as I can for this next season, just kick on, see what happens. Like, even if you're not playing well, at least you can be fit, run around, like that can take your place.
Do you think that changed it for you?
Yeah.
Because you'd done really well at Accrington, and obviously you got to move to Rangers off the back of that.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I just worked it hard in the off season. I was in Mallorca for like 6 weeks, just running up hills and mountains and all that mad stuff. Just trying to do whatever I could to get as fit as possible, and yeah, luckily for me.
Do you still do it now, or do you tick over? Do you look after yourself a little bit more?
Runs up Roseby Topping now, don't you?
I've got a dog and I take the husky up Roseby Topping. I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day because I got my thing through, to do in the off season. I'm like, 31 now. Like, do I need to do it as much? But I think it's a personal thing, isn't it? I've got this like personal pride now that when we go back in, I want to be at the front.
Yeah.
So it'll come to it, and I'll probably just be the same.
It's a good feeling, isn't it? When you go back pre-season, like I never had it a lot because I always used to struggle, similar to you, with pre-season. You do it, and when the sort of feeling you get afterwards is great, innit? When you've done a hard run. But I never enjoyed it. Never really enjoyed it. Like I say, the feeling you get afterwards is great, but doing it. But I feel when you enjoy it like you do, in a personal pride where you're coming in and you want to be at the front and you've sort of set yourself that target to be at the front. Like I said, fair play, good on you.
The worst one was that one where you're at the back, you have to get to the front, and I just couldn't get there. Honestly, I wasn't quick enough or fit enough, and I just couldn't get there.
Wait. The one that kills me.
Couldn't someone pick him up and get him again? I remember doing a pre-season at Blackburn, and there was an 800-metre runner called Jason Lobo, who used to run for Great Britain. Did he? And he came in and done pre-season. We were running around the perimeter, doing runs, and 3-minute run, 4-minute run, 5-minute run, back down again. This fella was like, I could run, like I was a runner. He was, and in the end, in a 4-minute lap, he was nearly lapping us in a perimeter. The speed he was going, and I'm thinking, that's just a different level again. but can he kick a football?
Well, do you know what? Honestly, you took the words out. I was just going to say, could he kick the ball?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Because again, that's the thing for me, isn't it? It's like, you know, you come back pre-season and you've got people who are just hammering the bleep test and they're in the gym and they're strong, and then they get out with the balls and you can't kick a ball.
That is me pre-season, that's me.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, he's come back looking well, him.
I'll go
give
the
him a
opposite.
football.
We'll go two guy at Blackburn. You'd look and you'd be like, where's two guy?
No.
He's nowhere near you. But you get a ball out, best player you'll ever see with a ball.
Yeah.
I feel like as long as you're in the sort of pack, you're not really far behind. You're in the, you know, as long as you can do it, as long as you can do the runs and you're not falling really far behind.
Yakubu, the most unfittest fella, but how good was he on the pitch?
Yeah, but he was about 48 and cracked on, he was 28.
He was like, but I could lap him, and yeah, it was just class, wasn't he? Yeah,
I want to see Branco. We had Branco here. Branco came here. Remember the Brazilian left back? You might not remember him. You might be too young. Won the World Cup and everything, right? Came here. And we're watching the TV one day before the game, just in the changing room. And he's supposed to be 36, Branco, when he's here. We're watching a World Cup where he's 32. And this World Cup was about 14 years before we sat here. And we're thinking, he only played 2 games, I think, Branco.
Yeah.
Listen, this fella could kick a ball harder than anyone you've ever met in your life. But ask him to run, no chance. He'd sit and smoke over there and then come out, smash a few free kicks and corners and then walk in again. That was his job, but he was about 48. Yeah. His passport said he was 32.
It's like Tunjai, that. Tunjai was a runner, but then he put bags on the smoke alarm so he could smoke. Smoking in the showers. Southgate had come in after the game and he's like hiding his fag behind him.
How old's your passport?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm looking old now, aren't I?
At least you haven't had a fella laugh at you when you give your passport in. I had a fella laugh at me when I gave my passport in. Because I had this and my passport photo was
like look well, you.
10 years, nearly 10 years before that. And I look totally different. Do you know what I mean?
I think you look the same as you did. 95, yeah.
Have you ever, how long have you had your beard?
Always.
Have you?
Always, yeah.
Would you never get rid of it?
No, do you know what? I tell a lie. So my debut.
Had you shaved head, didn't you?
Yeah. That was when I probably didn't have a beard. But then I started growing my hair. Yeah, my debut I had a shaved head.
What, completely?
Not bald, not like shave, but like short, probably like a one all over or something.
Good fluffy
But then it's fluffy, isn't it? Yeah, it's like his.
Mine's best.
My inspiration, isn't it? No, but when I started growing my hair out, that's when I started growing the beard, and I've just never took it away now.
Are you the same? Or do you?
I've shaved mine before, it looks terrible.
Honestly,
it's terrible,
It looks too, even when I go too short, like I'm thinking, no,
you get used to it, don't you?
Yeah.
What do you say? I hide my chin with mine.
Do you shave much? Do you
a little trimmer. Yeah, not a clean shave.
I can't look at your chin now after you said that before.
I know, yeah. Do you think it's big? I don't think it's big.
Go to the side.
No.
He has to do a big Brucey, doesn't he?
Don't know if they've got a beard, it covers it a bit, doesn't it?
Do you remember your full debut?
Yeah.
For Boro?
Oh, for Boro?
Yeah.
I thought you meant...
No, for Boro.
Full debut, for Boro, yeah. It was with Chris, it was the cup game I was talking about.
Who against?
Barnsley.
Do you remember the team?
Remember the result, we got beat 1-0. The team,
Yeah.
I was captain on the day.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he made me captain, yeah. Do you know what, I think he felt bad because he hadn't played me.
Yeah.
So
First game, captain?
Team.
What?
Keeper?
His team?
Who was you there at the time?
Yeah, I was in stands.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joey's.
Liam Roberts was keeper. Obviously, you played...
I'm trying to think now, because do you know what's just coming to my head then, what you said about the Joeys, because I know that it was a cup game, it was the third round.
We've not been playing well, have we? So he's...
Do you know where you played?
Right wing back. It was Chris. It was. 100% it was.
Doesn't say you were right wing back.
Oh, I'm telling you now it was.
Team in here.
100%. Chris Wilder was 3-5-2.
Yeah.
I played wing back.
It
but
says
he
here
changed
you
it
were
up.
right centre back.
No.
Yeah, he would have, yeah. He might have done that, to be fair.
Amph.
Yeah.
I come in to be back up to Izzy. Amph and Paddy were the sort of centre halves.
So we'll swap that with an admin error. I'll let you stew on that. We'll speak to you later about this. So, centre back.
Amph must have been.
And who were the 3 centre backs?
Who would have played in the thingy team? And Dale.
You've just said them there.
Dale.
No.
Dale played.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. Dale was the middle one.
Do you know what I was thinking? I was thinking Dale will have played on the Saturday.
Would have got left out.
And would have got left out. So I'm trying to think of players who wouldn't have played. Boller will have played wing back, left wing back. Midfield.
Who's the other centre half?
Left side centre half. Paddy?
Yeah.
Good shout.
Midfielders.
I know one of them.
Mowat?
No. It was,
You didn't play, did you? You wouldn't have played.
Well, you'll do well if you get
I know one
two of them.
So there's the back five. So Robbo in goal, back five. So we need 3 midfielders and 2 forwards.
Yeah.
I don't know why I know this.
Forwards, I've got no idea. No idea.
One centre mid still playing now, isn't
Yeah.
Playing who? Here?
Yeah.
John Boy.
Johnny? No, Johnny was
No.
captain. I was captain.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's from the best town around.
Hayden.
Yeah. Hayden played.
Best Hayden. Do you know who did play actually? Keelan.
Well done. I didn't think you were going to get that.
played,
Boyd
yeah.
Munce.
Yeah.
Keelan played. I don't know who else played in midfield. And the 2 forwards could have been anyone. Could be anyone.
Yeah, you're not
Who will have played in the? Who started the season?
I don't want to
from
put pressure on
that
you, but
team?
this is the worst anyone's ever done it.
It's
It's not mine.
No, I'm not being funny.
Everyone
Yeah,
gets
but it's
two
not.
wrong.
It's not like.
Am I supposed to be helping him here, by the way?
No.
Oh.
You've got yours
Why?
to come.
One used to play. He used to play for Sunderland, didn't
Duncan.
he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the 3rd midfielder? I won't get it.
Joe
Keelan,
Gibson.
Hayden. Who?
Joe Gibson.
Never.
Oh,
Joe Gibson play. I don't even know who Joe Gibson is.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Striker.
That's
genuinely.
terrible.
You're the other striker. Sonny
The young
Finch.
lad. Oh, Finch.
I'm not being funny.
That is a tough.
Do you remember the 3 subs?
Shut up. 3 subs. Who's going to start?
Yeah,
Tuba was a
there's a
sub.
big one sub.
Tuba.
Tuba, come on.
Yeah. Then there's another one who's still playing now.
Honestly, no. You've lost me. You've
Marcus
lost me because
Force.
there's no way on this planet, right? And
Fletcher.
with all due respect to Joe Gibson, I'm sorry, I would never have got that in a million years. Never.
Should have got
I
that.
thought I'd done all right with Keelan.
And that was,
You did do
yeah, that was a good shout. That was one that I was thinking of.
Yeah, you did really well.
Crooksy. How many teams you had, pal?
Right, we're going in for like Radcliffe and all that.
Right. Yeah. Can you? Who did you play on your debut?
Fulham,
Yes. Score.
1-1.
Who scored?
Was it Bowles?
Bloody hell,
He's going to do
He's
all right. Yeah. He's going to do all
What
right.
formation? We got 4,
4-4-2.
3. No.
It was 4-4-2.
3 centre mids here. Right wing, left wing.
Yeah, I
centre
know,
forward.
but
Go on. Then. 4-4. Go 4-4-2 then. Right back. No goal. Goalkeeper.
I've been stitched here with this Carabao Cup game. You know. I'm telling you, I've been stitched. Because this team he's picked,
This is like
it'll be
Lummers.
it'll be the proper team.
This is a strong team.
Lummers,
It'll be a proper team,
Yeah.
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 Right back.
Amp,
Yeah.
Dale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Centre back. The other centre back, you might know.
Is it Hawley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Left back.
Must have been Bowles.
Yeah.
We're flying.
3 centre mids.
No. So I played right wing. So played all pre.
Played
all-
right wing.
Honestly, mate, right wing. All pre-season been playing centre mid, and then Warnock was like, right, they've got a really fast left back. Just follow him everywhere.
Oh, you told me this story.
He was
I
man to man,
remember
wasn't he? Well, Warnock was man to man defending. So he's Anthony Robinson. Had to follow
I
him.
remember this game, and they scored late, did they not? You were 1-0 up, and they scored late
No,
on
I
the
think
game.
we scored late.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I remember watching the game on telly actually. Yeah.
Who played centre mids then?
Johnny and Tavida played, but I don't know if he'd played centre mid.
No, he didn't.
Did he play left?
No.
Tav didn't play?
No. Give you he's on the bench.
Johnny.
Been captain in the Prem this year, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Captain in the Prem this year.
What?
It was.
One of the centre midfielders. This season. Captain.
I'm not being funny. Can't give you much more of a clue than that, mate. Come on.
Yeah, it's gone here.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I've been
haven't
done
done
here
that
with
well.
this Barnsley game.
Oh, Sammy Morsey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got another centre midfielder.
Difficult one this, because he's not a centre mid. Is he?
He was in
He's not a centre mid.
the last team.
He's not a centre
He was in the
mid.
last team.
Yeah, he was in the
He's a
last team, but he
defender.
didn't play midfield.
Pad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Up front was.
Well, left wing. Who played left wing? I don't
I think Izzy came on, didn't he? So.
So
Yeah.
Mackham again.
Yeah.
Is he a Mackham?
Izzy was sub.
But this is why it's tricky though, isn't it? Because these players, like, you'd never have thought he'd have played right wing, would you?
No.
And
Duncan.
obviously,
Yeah.
yeah, he's played up
Yeah.
front in my team, and he played off the wing in his team. You know what I mean?
Striker.
So,
I think he was a big guy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
you think he was big? Oh, he was big. He was big. He was big.
He was big.
Oh.
Oh, Uche.
Yeah. He's done all right there.
Well, better. It wasn't a good standard, was it, really?
I've been done.
Yeah, because Izzy came on and that was like his thing, wasn't it? That was his first breakout game.
And not a bad bench, is he? Jed Spence.
Yeah.
Tav. Izzy.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? I mean, you'd be closer to it, I would imagine, this season. What do you think was the reason Boro didn't get in the playoffs? I mean, you look at the squad and you look at the team and you look at how they could play, and it's all there. What do you think was missing?
I think going back to what we were saying before about the league, I think people underestimate how tough this league is. I really do, honestly. I think people expect teams to be here and there, and I don't think it's so hard to get consistency in this league. And it's been like that for years. I'm talking like back when I made my debut 10 years ago, whenever it was. It's so hard to get consistency, and I think when you get that consistency and you find a formula to win, you've got to hold on to it. Burnley have done it unbelievably well this season. And I think Middlesbrough have just fell victim to that, of that sort of lack of consistency. Because I've seen them, I watch every game this year being injured, and I see them and I think sometimes best team in the league by a country mile. And then I watch them in other games and I think we're miles off it. Yeah. Just that consistency of winning games and picking up points. And on any other day, I think how far off did we finish with?
10th, I think
3 or 4 points.
Yeah.
How many points was it? It wasn't, and you flip a couple of games that we drew into wins, and all of a sudden you're in the playoffs there, and it's been a decent season. It's been a good season, So you're talking like small margins. There's a lot of teams who, similar to the relegation battle, you're talking like a matter of points, goal difference in your case with Hull. Yeah. The turning point.
Has anything changed between when Michael started and his formation and how he wanted to play to now?
Well, this is a bit of a difficult one for me because I've not seen it. Yeah. Because obviously I've not trained. I've been injured for the best part of 2 years, so I've not seen. I think the messages, I think the way that Michael is as a man and as a coach, I can't imagine they've changed a lot since when I played. Yeah. But in terms of the training sessions and in terms of that types of stuff, I've not been aware or seen that. So it's difficult for me to comment really in terms of how the team sets up now as to how it did when we were both in that team. So that's one thing that I can't really shed much light on.
Do you think, so the first group that you were involved in, you've mentioned it with the tubers and the archers and the first time there, that sort of that camaraderie that you've had, would you say that's the best team spirit you've had in your time here, or is it different?
No, I think it's been, for me, only speaking for me, it's been pretty consistent all the way through. Even the first group, I still speak to Tav now, still speak to Bowles and that. So for me, I think the group's been pretty. It's been an honest group, and that the lads have all got on all the way through. Obviously, it helps when you're doing so well, which we were. We're playing some good football. But from my perspective, I wouldn't say that it was a real standout, like from a social side or anything like that.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I think the best camaraderie and the best sort of thing you can get is by winning. Yeah. The group is the group, and I don't. There's not a lot of when you've got a few bad eggs or whatever you want to call them. But if you're winning games, it's hard not to be together. Yeah. And I think it works both ways. When you're together, you win, and when you're winning, you're together. Yeah. So it sort of goes hand in hand.
But I found that being a manager, you always learned more about players when you were losing or when you were going through a rough time.
But that's when you need to be together more, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. When you've got that togetherness, even when you're losing.
That's when you know who's with you properly. Of course, yeah, of course. When you're winning or when you're playing well or someone's playing, it's easy, isn't it? Because that's just easy, everything goes. But I always found when you were losing, that's when you're seeing the real character of people. And whether you want, I mean, we were sat here with Mogga talking about it, Tony, and Tony said the first thing he did when he come into the football club was get rid of the bad eggs. No matter how good they were, or he'd get rid of them. So we went to Bolton. Right?
He did.
So he got rid of him.
Oh, mate, shit, no. Do you know what I blame? Strachan.
No, don't blame anyone but yourself, mate. No. It's you, man.
I went to see him at a talk, and I don't think he knew I was there till afterwards, and he said, "Yeah, I had to get rid of the." As he said.
He did say.
I had to get rid of the. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute. He told me.
He got rid of him. He got rid of him.
I asked him here, didn't I? I said no. He said no. He said, "Oh, did he was here when I asked him?" He said, "No, you weren't." I had to get rid of you. I think it's because I was free in the summer, and he got. Oh yeah, they got a bit of cash, didn't they? So.
How much did they sell you for?
2.5, I think it was.
It was a free.
Yeah.
It was a free. Take him.
Oh, yeah.
Take him.
Pack of 4 Red Bulls.
You ever into a packet of Red Bulls with you?
Oh, I love Red Bull.
He loves Red Bull, doesn't he?
Yeah, what is it with Red Bull?
Can we get someone here and get a little
Little sponsorship deal. For you.
sponsorship, yeah?
He just wants a freebie crate.
You can sort that out.
They've done
can't
that
you?
before.
You get them in the Prem, don't we? And then
He does love a freebie, to be fair. He's not to take those trousers off. See him on Friday, I had those trousers on. I've gone
you
for
had
pure.
that outfit on the other day.
No, never.
Show the camera your sneaks.
I've got my Uggs on. Comfort first, guys.
Learned 2 things about Crooks on Friday. You can put a Guinness away, no problem, can't you? He's never had a Palmo.
Have you not?
Never had a Palmer.
Palmo.
No.
See, that's taking
Look
it
at
to
the shock
extremes, isn't
faces.
it? That's taking the fitness
Here's
bit
how
to
long have you
extremes,
been
isn't it?
4 years nearly.
Yeah, it's a bit mad that, you know.
But you know what's madder? I've never tried a Palmer. He's never had a coffee. I couldn't believe it.
Or a Guinness.
Or a Guinness.
You've never had the coffee before?
Never
had a-
ever.
Shut up.
No, Spab never had a coffee.
That's why he's always on the Red Bull. He doesn't drink coffee.
That's
How bizarre is that?
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Is that more bizarre than being in Boro 4 years?
Yes.
Not on the
Yeah.
bar?
Way
Is it?
more bizarre, yeah.
You think?
Yeah, I think so.
Coffee's universal, isn't it? It's just...
Never ever. I don't like the smell of
Have
it.
you never been in a Starbucks or a Costa or anything like that?
Yeah, I'll get a cup of tea and a cake.
I see, you can't go for a coffee and get a cup of tea. It's just like,
Nah, my missus likes them, but yeah, I've never had one.
Get your Dave's dilemmas out. That's
Dave's
the lads, your
dilemmas, like,
Dave's dilemmas.
these go anywhere, they know. There's no...
If they're harder than that first 11, I've got no chance here, so count me
Oh,
out.
they're not harder than that. Nah, there's no... What is the... No rhyme or reason? Is that the right saying?
I don't know.
Is that right? Yeah. So, 10 questions.
Me versus him?
No, just
Quick fire
Any
answers.
question for you?
Only. It's multiple choice, isn't it, Dave?
multiple... Well,
he's not
two.
explaining this very well, yeah? Come
There you
on.
go. Yeah.
This is your moment.
Chris Wilder or Neil Warnock?
For what?
Night out, whatever you want. Best manager?
Chris Wilder for me.
Chris Wilder.
Neil Warnock.
I'm glad you said that,
Quickfire
because
these
Neil would
Crooksy
have
lad.
phoned up there. Would he? He'd have phoned us up.
He's an important one. John Cena or Randy Orton?
John Cena.
Yeah.
What did I tell you the other day? Don't watch wrestling.
I can't remember. Yeah, that's it. No Palmos and I'd have done like wrestling. Mental.
Weirdo.
And he didn't come out with me on the night either.
That's sensible.
Do you never used to watch wrestling?
No.
Never.
No. Footy, mate.
I know.
Big fan.
What?
You went through
Are you
the
a big fan
Stone
of
Cold
wrestling?
era, didn't you? Like 99, 2000, it was massive.
Now.
Still watching it?
He's
still
got
watching
figures.
now, yeah.
He plays with the figures in the ring.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
He does.
I'll send you a picture later on.
No, you don't. You don't have figures.
He's got wrestling
And
figures.
do what?
Knows all the special moves and plays with them like.
You're having me
I
off
swear,
here.
right? I sit there cross legs like this, so this is the top rope, so I wrestle here and then
Nah,
that's
you're
the
having
top
us
rope.
off here.
Can't have that. No, I did exactly that, but I was 12.
Now.
What are you, 48
He's
now?
just reached 12 mentally now.
He's one for you, probably. American barbecue or full English?
Full English.
Yeah?
Agreed.
Yeah. Boro or Manchester for a night out?
I've never done Boro, so Manchester anyway.
I'll take it a Boro, right? And then
No thanks.
we'll revisit.
You've never
I'm
been
all
to
right.
Boro either. Red car for you.
On Friday.
Yeah, you said red.
What is a night out in Boro? Seriously, is it
Empire,
like is it a yarm or is it actually
Empire.
Middlesbrough?
Nah, Yams.
Oh, Middlesbrough.
He's getting Yam next. But Boro's you go flares at the end of the night.
Oh, no,
Should we
there's a
go
flares.
Yeah, but I couldn't get in on Friday because I had this tracksuit on.
Yeah, that exact girl.
Said you're not getting in like that, mate. I said,
why
"Away."
not? Because that's 70s.
I said, come on, mate. I used to play for Middlesbrough, and I'm just.
With your action figures.
Oh yeah, they're in my pocket.
You give everyone a bad name.
I
you.
know, I know. Yam or Hull?
Yeah,
Yeah. Used to be better as well, you know.
yeah. It had the nightclub, didn't it?
Hi.
Tall trees or something.
Oh, tall.
Oh, the tall trees.
Yeah.
That was a bit round the corner, wasn't it? But,
Yeah, it's just houses now.
What was it called? The Keys.
The Keys is
Still going, that
place.
place?
Yeah, the
No.
Keys is still open.
Yeah, K's is still
Grab a granny night Tuesday night. Cracker. Where it was. Don't know if it is now. Is
Cracker?
it? You'll know.
Cracker.
Yeah. Goal or a clean sheet?
Do you know if you said goal or assist, I'd have said assist.
Would you?
Yeah, would you?
What?
I always used to get more satisfaction. If I'd done the work on the side,
Not
shit
having
wanted
that.
a back stick for him, and he headed it in, I'd feel more sense of like,
Really, yeah?
I've done me. Yeah, as a defender, yeah, of course. Defenders don't score goals. You might, because you go for corners, but
How many? Yeah, you must have a few.
32.
32 what?
Goals.
No chance.
I did.
32.
Yeah, it's alright then, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's good going,
Very
that.
good, that. Yeah.
Cheers, lad. Cheers, lad.
Goal over a clean sheet, though, for me. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing like it, is it?
Really?
Over a clean sheet.
Yeah, clean sheets are good, but there's nothing like scoring, is there? You don't get in the papers, do you, for a clean sheet? You score, you're in there. Yeah. Nah, go stay goal. Neymar or Mbappe?
Prime Neymar.
Mbappe.
Yeah, Mbappe.
Suarez or Aguero?
Aguero.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Suarez was good though.
Twitter or Instagram?
Instagram for me.
Real life, boy. It's real life, man.
What's that?
Just face to face, contact, you know.
It's good, this, isn't it? But
Yeah, it's much better.
Definitely Instagram, though.
I don't do.
Now he's the important one, isn't it? We were debating this.
It's not for me, this.
What?
It's not for me.
Kylie Jenner or Kim Kardashian?
Me either.
What? You said
You're
that?
with me.
I like Kendall.
Yeah.
I said that as well.
Bit taller, isn't she? She's like, be like you. Do set piece in the garden with her.
Your garden. Seeing that picture of yours, class. Get us in there.
Well, you've asked that. You've obviously got a favourite.
Yeah.
Why have you asked that? Who's
No, they're probably my two favourite of the clan.
Really?
I'd say Kylie.
You're just thinking of the money.
Oh, yeah, both of them are not hard up.
not struggling, are they?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Not struggling.
How was the States for you?
I'll be like me and you if we get paid from this podcast, innit? The
We don't get
Kardashians.
paid, do we? We don't get paid.
We get dribs and drabs.
Cash flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how was it?
Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, it was.
So you lasted a season, didn't you? You done a full season.
Yeah, I
there.
did a season. Yeah, we did well. We came 5th in the league. Obviously, it's different over there. So you got like the East Conference and the West Conference. We came 2nd in ours, but overall we came 5th. But then everyone pretty much goes into the playoff, and then we lost our first playoff game. So it was kind of not a waste of time. But we did well in the season. But at the end of it, we didn't actually.
It's bizarre, isn't it? It is bizarre. I've always thought that.
Did you have to get your head around it? How it worked and.
Yeah, I guess so, because it's like a totally different system, isn't it? But their main focus is all gauged towards the final. So, for instance, like in Miami, they won the Shield. They came top of the league, but they didn't win the final, so they didn't really get any acclaim for it. But no, yeah, it was an experience, and I can say I've tried it.
What was the standard like?
It's totally different. It's hard to explain. Like the football is just. Tactically, it's just so different. It's because of the system and the salary cap. Obviously, they spend more money on their attacking players.
Yeah.
So they put a big emphasis on their attacking players to have like big numbers, loads of goals, all the ball, and it's like a bit more individualised rather than I feel like over here it's.
So the defenders are crap, then?
No, they're not crap, but it's just it's just different.
Did Messi play? Did you play against Messi?
I missed it by a day. My visa didn't come in
you?
time. Yeah, it's fuming.
Joe's easy sign there. You see how good to play against Messi. You see how them off.
Are you surprised Latty Lat's gone there?
Yeah, to be fair, I spoke to him before he went. Yeah, I feel, well, obviously he's got his own personal reasons for going. But obviously he's still very young.
That was my thing with him.
Yeah, so from a development point of
Yeah,
view or a career move.
I felt like I was young going. I was just turned 30, so obviously Manu was a lot younger than me. But listen, that's what he wants to do. That's his
I
choice.
feel with Manu, again, you've played there, you know a lot better than me.
Yeah.
I feel like he had more time and more to offer in England because of his age at this stage of his career. But like Crooks said, at the end of the day, you know, I got on well with Manu, good guy, really good guy, and he's obviously got his reasonings behind doing what he's doing. It's not for me.
Yeah, listen, the club got a really good deal, and I think it was one of them deals where you couldn't say no to it. If someone offers you that sort of money, you've got to accept it. But as a player, it's surely got to be about what's next, hasn't it? So everyone expects him to do well over there anyway because they think the standard isn't as good as it is over here.
Yeah, I have an expectation to do well.
It's a no-win for me because if he goes there and doesn't do well, that's career killed. If he goes there and does well, everyone will say, well, he should do well anyway because. Yeah.
Well, there's different things to weigh up, isn't it, in those situations? He might have wanted the lifestyle. Mm-hmm. He might have a family he wants to sort of support. You never know what people's agendas are, and you can only sort of say what, if it was me, I think I'd have stayed. Yeah. But, he went to America.
Well, what was the lifestyle
everyone's
like?
Everyone's different, aren't they?
Beautiful place where I was.
You're in Salt Lake, right?
Yeah, in Salt Lake, yeah, beautiful place. But obviously I went on my own. We had a plan to go over as a family and ended up going on my own. So that was difficult really, but a lot harder than I expected it to be. Probably one of the main reasons why I came back alongside the football. There's a big time difference. Obviously didn't see my kids for long periods of time, so like the idea of it was nice and I got a good deal, whatever. But it probably wasn't what.
What about the training? Was the training different? Were the
Yeah.
times different and the travelling?
No.
How was the travelling?
Yeah, the training days itself, they were pretty similar across the board. Kind of come in, train, get yourself off, kind of thing. Travel was mad. So most of the games you play on the west side of the country, but 4 or 5 games you've got to go to the east side to play the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
So we did Chicago, Philadelphia. It's like 6 hours. So on a
Flying
flight.
as well.
On a flight?
Yeah.
That's heavy, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And before COVID, they'd fly commercially. So I was fortunate enough that we could fly like chartered, but before I got there, they were flying just like normal flights.
It's like us playing in Dubai. Middlesbrough playing in Dubai, innit?
Yeah, it's
Genuinely,
mad.
do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you think with Middlesbrough's quite far away from a lot of the clubs in England, so away trips here are like they're all
Yeah.
quite long. But
Yeah.
that's like another level, isn't
Yeah.
it?
But like most of your West Conference games, they were like 2-hour flights, and you'd be going to like places where the weather and the climate's totally different. So we played Houston in the middle of summer, and it was like 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 85% humidity. You couldn't breathe. The warm-up was like 10 minutes long because you're just sweating and you're ready to go. But yeah, it was an experience. I did enjoy it. I don't regret going.
What were the lads like? Were the lads all right with you being English and?
I don't know. You have to ask them. No, we had a lot of Spanish in my. It was a South American kind of change room, bit, mostly. So that was difficult with my limited Spanish that I had.
So you didn't do any quizzes when you were over there?
No quizzes. I miss my
quiz man.
quizzes.
He's a big quiz man here. He used to be the
I
quiz
did
master, yeah.
the away games.
Every
the
away
quizzes,
trip,
yeah.
brilliant quizzes. Didn't do them over there, no.
No, I didn't have any quizzes. But yeah, that was like I say, I don't regret going, but it was definitely a lot more difficult than I expected it to be.
Did you ever have a chance to go abroad?
Got offered a few times, but honestly, I struggle here in the summer. I swear, I can't.
I can't imagine you leaving anywhere. Your house.
I had one run in Dubai, like a little jog. I lasted like, honestly, 2 minutes. It was just too hot. I can't do it.
Not for you.
No.
What about you,
I'm
Tom?
happy here.
Would you fancy it? Would you fancy going?
I got offered America.
Did you?
Yeah, I did, yeah, but it's just, again, everyone's personal preference, isn't it? It just never enticed
I remember
me.
you saying when I told you about it, like,
Just never enticed me. Again, maybe different circumstances. Obviously, I've got 2 kids myself. It's just never been what they literally threw it right at me. You know, come over 2 years. Salary was decent. And for a lot of people, it'd have been straightforward. But for me, it's just never enticed me.
it was mad. Like I had to make my decision within like 48 hours.
No.
And I was
decision
like,
as well, isn't it?
Do you know
right.
what we had? We went to with Boro. We went to Kuala Lumpur one year. We played a team out there. It was Brian Robson was manager. Jan Fjortoft played, and it was called Selangor. They were called. Jan played in the game, and after it, they put an offer in for Jan, but he had a day to make his mind up to go or to stay. Unbelievable to do it when you're out there. You've got no one to talk to. He's obviously had to speak to his agent. He turned it down in the end, but this place was amazing. You know, but you'd never heard of them before, ever. And you think that they're throwing all this money about to buy the centre forward.
Big Jan.
Yeah, big Jan. It was scary to get. If someone says to you, you've got 24 hours to make a decision, it's
real life in it as well, because, you know, I think to myself, if I'd have said yes to America, like Crooks did, and you go over there, and after a couple of weeks you think to yourself, it's not for me this. What would you do?
You've got to stay with it.
Do you know what I mean? What do you do? It's not straightforward to leave, is it? Unless you've signed like I don't know, it's not like you get a receipt, you know what I mean?
Did you get a chance to look first, or you just had to go and see what it was like after you signed?
Yeah. So I spoke to
trust.
Yeah. It was one of them like
It come out of the blue a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, we played Chelsea in the Carabao and we got battered at their place, and it kind of came up after that. And in my head, my thought process was, and it's been ever since really, I've just got one life. I want to maximise all my opportunities that I've got, and I don't want to regret something and say, I wish I'd done this or I wish I'd done that. Maybe it was a bit, not reckless, I don't think reckless is the right word, but
You've done it now, haven't you?
yeah, it was a bit different.
I think that's what Trent's feeling now, Trent Alexander-Arnold.
He looked good the other day. Didn't he? So you're looking at the fans.
But if it's Real Madrid, it's different, isn't it?
I feel like I done to it.
Honestly, the amount of conversations I've had, I don't know if it's because I'm from that way or what, but the amount of conversation, I've got a lot of Liverpool friends as well who have got like real strong opinions on it. I think, like you say, I think he's been so hard done by, mate.
Are you a Liverpool fan?
Yeah,
honestly.
I do all the games.
Yeah.
So I work for the radio down there.
So what's your general feel of it like?
Unbelievable what he's done for the football club.
But like,
everything he can win.
Would you, if you're in the crowd, would you have booed?
No, I had a go. We'd do a phone in afterwards, and I had a little pop at people who'd booed him. It's outrageous. I've never seen a Liverpool player in a Liverpool kit get booed by a Liverpool crowd.
What is it? Is it because they've not got a fee? Is that the main?
I think that's the main gripe.
Yeah.
Well, Liverpool are on the up. They're winning the leagues. They want him to stay so that they win everything coming up. But I think if you're 26 and you've won everything, and it's your boyhood club and you've done it all, like you've just said, if he says no to Real Madrid, are you going to regret that?
You can't tell me, right, Steven Gerrard, for whatever he is at Liverpool, I know he's he's the holy grail, isn't he, of Liverpool. If you asked him deep down if you could have gone to Madrid for a couple of years, would you have gone? I refuse to believe that he wouldn't have gone.
Well,
Looking back at it, looking back,
I
I just think to myself, like you just said, having no regrets and this, that and the other. And if Trent turned around next week and said, no, you know what, I'm not going, I 100% he'd regret that.
Yeah, he would.
100%.
I think he would.
I think there's one club in the world, certainly from my opinion. If I was at Liverpool and I was a boyhood Liverpool fan and I'd done everything that he's done, there's only one club in the world I'm leaving for. It'd be Madrid.
Yeah. And by the way, you could have 2 years there and come back to Liverpool if you wanted to, because he'd still only be 28.
Not anymore, I don't think.
They wouldn't take him back.
I think they would.
Take him back.
I think they would.
Yeah.
I think it's different to the Michael Owen one and the Steve McManaman one. I think it's different to that.
Why?
Because of what he's
Why
won with the
McManaman?
club.
Because McManaman's a Scouser, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
Michael
great.
Owen's not a
Steve's
Scouser.
a great lad.
I feel like with Owen, he was never felt like he was a Liverpool boy.
I get
But
that.
McManaman wasn't he?
Yeah, Macca's Scouser through and through. He works at the club now. He develops younger players. He's sort of half a mentor for the 21 players.
But he's never seen as a Liverpool legend, is he? Because of that.
Because of it.
Yeah.
But I think Trent's leaving a much more successful team than Macca ever played in. Trent's won everything. Macca didn't win everything with Liverpool. And I think it's different because Liverpool fans want to win everything from now going on. They see a big opportunity now to dominate for the rest of...
And I think from Trent's point of view, he's looking at it thinking, well, I've done it. Yeah,
I can see that. That's why I think he's ready for a new challenge and going... If he does it at Madrid and then comes back, you know what I mean? You never know what's going to happen. It's a tough one.
Footy's mad, innit, with the loyalty thing. Any other job, you go improve yourself, get a better job.
Well, that's what's interesting, isn't
They'll
it?
say you're loyal.
That's what's interesting.
There's so much emotion in it, isn't there? There's so much emotion.
The money clouds people. Certainly the fans will look at it and go, well, what difference is another $100,000 a week, or what difference? It's not why he's doing it.
No.
Do you know, by all accounts, I heard something. I don't know how accurate it was, but he was actually taking a cut.
He won't be though, will he?
Or what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, I think the money that Liverpool were willing to offer him was more than the money he's taking. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I said, I don't know how accurate
Mbappe, wasn't
it was.
He took a massive wage cut to go
But they're
there.
all on fees, aren't they? So if Trent's valued at 150 million,
I'm sure he'll be getting a whack of a signing
he'll
on
be
fee.
getting
man.
100 million
Yeah,
quid
no, I get
over
that. I get that.
2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
You know
but it's not what the point
do
I'm trying
you
to
do
make
with
is
that?
it's not money orientated, is it?
No, the money doesn't matter. When you get to that level,
No.
money doesn't matter. It doesn't
I
matter.
use some new trainers.
What do we think about Boro then next season? I know it's hard for you to comment on this because you're playing it somewhere
It's easier
else.
for him. He's not here anymore, is he?
No, he's not.
I'm playing at home, man. Oh yeah, they're going to be flying. Yeah, going to beat you.
Do you still watch all the games or try and see Boro when they're on? Look out for results and stuff.
I'll look at the result. Yeah, I wouldn't say I watch the games. When I was in America, I would. Obviously, I still knew most of the lads. I think the team's probably changed quite a lot since I've left.
It's interesting from another team's player. When you think you're playing against Middlesbrough, what do you think? Think it's going to be a tough game? Do you think it's going to be?
Oh yeah, this has got a good team,
Because
good
there has
players.
been a suggestion, hasn't it, that Middlesbrough are a little bit soft.
Who said that?
A little soft to all the fans. A little bit of a soft touch. But they haven't got...
Do you know the problem I find with
The
that is
robust people.
I feel like that's the way the game's going. And again, just my opinion. I feel like, and not to say that I think Middlesbrough are a soft touch or I think that other teams are soft touch, I just feel like the game's changing a little bit in the sense of
Is that red
probably...
card last night?
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
you see that?
No.
So I'm talking about, obviously, you know, how long have you been retired now?
4 years now.
So let's just say 10 years ago, when I was just starting out, you were probably a bit younger than me at the time. So you were probably in the middle of your career then. The game from then to now, it's like so different, isn't it? It's so different. So I think
You can hardly touch anyone now.
But I don't think you need to be hard, or you don't need to. But you need to stand up for yourself, don't you? And you need to let people know that they can't bully you.
I still think there's a place in the game for it. I do honestly, and maybe that's me being a dinosaur or whatever it is. But I still think there's a big part of a huge part of the game is that fight element. But I just think the way the game's going now, maybe it is to do with the referees, like you're saying. Tackles, you can't seem to tackle anyone anymore. But I certainly think it's drifting out of the game, and I'm a huge advocate of keeping that type of, keeping that sort of robustness and that sort of fight to get where you want to get to.
Do you still think you need leaders?
100%.
Yeah.
How many?
I think you should have a core group, shouldn't you, that are like looked upon. But like you see someone like Johnny. Johnny's not loud, is he?
I think that's
But
something
he's like,
that you need is
class.
a variety of leaders. He was never loud,
No.
but he was a leader in his own rights. I would like to think I was a leader, but in a right of
He shouts a
absolute
lot.
loud.
Yeah.
I was a shouter. So it's sort of where sort of the balance of sort of having the
That's why he's got that Sky job.
shouters.
Do you think that helps you get through games as well? Do you think that's sometimes how you get through your own games as well?
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, I think sometimes. I think everyone's different. Personalities are different, and I don't know. He'll answer you. He'll give you a better answer than me. But sometimes I feel like me shouting to certain people gets the best out of him, and I know that sometimes it sometimes goes against them. So you just got to know where you can and can't use your voice. But it certainly helped me. I don't think I could go through a game not being vocal.
How did you react when people were vocal with you? Were you one of them who would take it on board, or were you like, right, I'll show you, or did you?
You've been brought up on that, don't you?
Didn't like it.
Yeah.
I can imagine Airsy like.
Yeah, no, I had it from my dad.
Yeah.
You know, when I was
I was the
younger,
same.
I had it from my dad. He was the first person who was vocal with me, very vocal, and it just sort of stuck me through that. And again, coaches that he's just mentioned there over the years growing up were vocal, and it's just something that's always been in me as being. And again, you look at someone like Johnny, who's the career he's had, unbelievable career. Doesn't shout a lot, just uses his sort of leadership qualities in different ways, and I don't think there's a right or wrong way, but I think when you've got a mix of players in a squad who've got that variety, that's when I think you...
Do you think it's more about respect now than being a leader? People need to respect you first.
Well, you have to earn that respect, don't you, by whatever you've done, and like I say, one thing about Johnny, I keep referencing him as a leader. Every single day, the way he trains and the way he conducts himself, he gains that respect. Yeah. And I think he deserves that respect from how he conducts himself. You know, he doesn't need to shout, doesn't need to rant and rave. I did that for him.
You and Dara,
Yeah.
you know, that's it again.
But yeah, he warranted that respect just from the way he conducted himself. And everyone knew he didn't have to say a lot, but they respected him.
What was your dad like with you? Just think about my
Tough.
kids now, was he?
Yeah, he was tough, yeah.
Oh, man, I was the worst, man.
Yeah.
No, he didn't shout at me, but like, you know, you have a game, so I was like 13, 14, you get in the car. How do you think you did?
Yeah.
And as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, not very well then. Yeah, that was enough.
Mine was the same.
I see. Sometimes I feel bad after. If my little lads had a bad game, I say, "Were you tired today?" And he must start.
That's
knowing
what I'm
that.
saying, but times are changing, aren't they? This is what I'm
know.
saying. And I go back to what I said before about the games changing a little bit. I think society's changing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, there's some of the, I think back to when I was a kid and some of the things that the coaches and my dad and how they were with me, I'm not so sure that is as common anymore.
What do you think about social media now? As a player, were you okay being on social media?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think how when we first started, it wouldn't have been a thing, really. Would it?
Nah, it wasn't a thing when we first started, no. It's
I
like
think
kind
it's,
of...
social media dictates a lot of stuff now.
Does, yeah.
An awful lot of stuff. So I see a lot of Instagram players, and Instagram players, by that I mean players who've been at big clubs from when they were young, but they're still there at 23, 24. Yeah. Never played a game, but are doing it for the status of, oh, I'm at this big club or I'm at that club. Whereas go and get a career, at 18, go out on loan like you did. You know what I mean? You go out on loan to all these places. I did it back in the day. I went on loan to Stafford Rangers, who were a conference team when I was, and it develops you. So by the time you're 20, you're ready to play in proper football. I see too many lads now, 23, 24. They've hardly played any games.
That started like we were the first like 23s, were we, at Huddersfield? We were like kind of the first group to do it, and it's like it was weird, wasn't it? Because you couldn't. It was so hard to bridge the gap between the 18s and then usually just go straight to first team, and then you've got an opportunity to like showcase what you can do. Whereas I feel like now you almost get stuck, don't you? In that.
It's so hard. The gap.
Because there's more players to bridge to be able to fulfil fixtures.
Yeah,
it is difficult.
So the filtering doesn't happen.
I mean, we made the best of what we had, didn't we? We had a group of about when I joined Huddersfield from Man City. I went in there as a 21-year-old, and Crooks and the other lads there were 17, 18. So they were a few years younger than me. Yeah. So they had a little bit more time to get go. I was 21. It was almost like make or break for me, because I went into that changing room, and I'm sure they all looked at me at the time and thought,
"He's so old, well, like Wheats."
Literally, like they were looking at me, and I felt it, and I went in and I felt it, and I was like, I'm like the dad of this group here. But you know what? It was the best thing that happened to me, because I probably developed that sort of leadership qualities from that, because I was the senior player in the group. And you get a bit of luck, don't you? You know, I mean, it was only a few months prior to me making my debut at Huddersfield. I was meant to be going on loan. Do you remember you sent a few on loan to Radcliffe?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, I went to Radcliffe. Me and Berkey.
Yeah, me, him, and a lad called Berkey were meant to go to Radcliffe Boro, and they can only take 2. So they sent Berkey and Crooksy, and I didn't go because you can only send 2 in the season or something. So I stayed. I stayed, and a few months later, I made my debut. And this is what I say to everyone about how that little bit of luck that you need. I made my debut, and he was off at Radcliffe.
That's fine.
It's just, it's mad, isn't it?
I think I had 6 centre-halves injured when I made my debut.
That's what you need, though, innit? You need that little bit of luck.
I just had Tommy in front of me, didn't I?
You had a couple of loans, though, didn't you?
Yeah, Doncaster. Well, talking about like 24 hours thing. Finished training on a Friday. Steve Round come said, "You got to Doncaster, you're playing tomorrow." I was like, "Oh my God." I was like, "I'm not." He said, You are up the motorway. Playing the next day.
You had Darlow as well, didn't you?
Darlow, that was good, yeah. But I think it's class going on loan, innit? Getting some games with.
Well, Ben Gibson was the same. Ben Gibson went out on loan 3. I think he went York, Plymouth, Tranmere, and then back to Boro.
So you got them grounds and it stinks of deep heat and
it's a big culture shock, isn't it? Like
class.
you're coming from like an 18s, 21s game where there's no riding on it, and then you're in a changing room full of men. I was League 2 at Aki. And like they were fighting relegation.
It's like ready there as well.
Yeah,
I didn't realise that you'd spent a bit of time at Hartlepool, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
How long?
I only did a month. I think I had about 6 managers in a month. Yeah.
He gets managers sacked him.
Who were the managers?
I've seen the whole manager just got sacked.
Are you sure you weren't there when I was there?
Telling you, it's him.
No. What was he called? He was a centre half. Collins.
Sam Collins.
Sam Collins. He was the first one, and then Summit Murray.
Paul Murray.
Paul Murray.
You were there at a good time, weren't you?
Yeah. And then I think that were it.
Yeah. Paul Murray didn't last long, did he? It was about 7 or 8 games.
Yeah. Wasn't my fault. I'd left. I went back. I went to Aki.
Yeah.
You've been about, haven't you?
But John Coleman, I mean, Johnny, he was one of the longest serving managers.
He was there for like
in all the leagues.
Yeah.
He was up there.
I couldn't believe it when they let him go. It's like.
Yeah. Well, he's a Scouser, isn't he, John? So he's going to be a top man.
Him and Jimmy. You know, Jimmy Bell,
yeah.
Neil was there for a bit. You know, Mike Neil?
Yeah, I know Mike. I played at Aberdeen with Mike.
Did you?
Long time
You
ago.
texted me the other day, actually. Funny character.
You have had some managers, haven't you?
No, that was just the coaching stuff, man. I've had a few. Yeah. But
Accrington was an eye opener because it's
I
everything
loved it.
about that place is rough and ready, isn't it?
Yeah. So I lived in like there was me, Windass, Shea McCartan, Jason Mooney was like 7-foot goalkeeper, and Cal Naismith. There was 5 of us in a 3-bed house in Aki, and it was unbelievable. It was class.
It's that camaraderie again. We go back to that togetherness. You know what I mean?
Loved it.
I don't think you get that much now, do you?
No.
That wouldn't happen as
The
much
house
now.
was a disgrace, like disgusting, but it was unbelievable. Best year of my life. Well, maybe not, but.
Do you? I mean, it probably this will apply to you more than Crooksy because Crooksy's still got a few years left. But have you got some sort of idea what you want to do after football? Do you want to stay in football?
I feel like I need to stay in football. Yeah, it's one of them things, isn't it? I'm sure we can all agree on it that you do it for such a long time. It becomes ingrained in you, doesn't it? You know, even if you want to leave it, it's hard to, isn't it? You know.
Have you done your badges? Have you?
I've done my B licence. I'm in an hour in whether to jump on the A licence. Doing a little bit of media work. So I've actually enrolled on a course in September to do through the PFA. So yeah, bits and pieces. But I'm quite relaxed. Yeah. How long that's going to last for, I don't know. I'm sure. So, well, I was thinking 6 weeks. I was thinking 6 weeks. You can't get away from it, can you? No. You know, look at you guys, what you're doing now, and
that's the thing. I don't miss the football. I love doing stuff like
this. Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. Listen, there's not. Do you know what? We played Coventry on the last game of the season, and I'd done the game. And I was pitch side, and I was thinking, God, I'd love to play today. But there's not many times I've actually looked and thought, I really miss it. Not yet, anyway.
I do when you walk. Well, the lads walk out with a theme song.
Yeah. There's certain times I do, and I don't. I think the longer the time goes on, I will think, God, I do miss playing.
I think it helps that you know in your own mind that you can't do it like you used to do it. Do you know what I mean? When you've had things wrong with you, I've had a hip replacement. I've had 2 Achilles done. I've broke my leg. I've done dislocated shoulders. And when you, like, I'll go and play in some daft games, you know, end of season charity things, and it frustrates the living daylights out of me because I hate it, and I'll only do it if it's at a good ground or it.
Try to get you on
what is it that annoys you?
Just can't. I can see what's happening and I can't do anything about it. Do you know what I mean? I just can't do anything.
I had one the other day.
I can play, but not like I want to play.
I had one the other week, and some lad took me on. He's about 19, and everyone was going, "Way!" Because he used to play. Obviously, played Prem and that. And 20 years old.
Finally dropped it in, didn't he?
He did.
He just pops out now.
What about you, Crooks? Have you got any idea what you want to do, or are you just happy to do it as long as you can do it for?
I don't know. I change my mind quite often of staying in the game or doing something totally different.
Because it is tough to stay in it.
Yeah.
You know, you do need a bit of help along the way. And
like he says, I'm doing my UEFA B badge, but I don't know if I've got the character to like be a coach or a manager. I'm not sure.
Honestly, I don't think I could coach first team. Kids sound, but
even kids like
I'm the opposite of that. Yeah, I struggle with kids because I feel like I want them to do something. I've got it in my head what I want you to do, but kids can't do it. They don't. You know what I mean? And I'm like, why can't you do that? Do you know what I mean? But at least when you get to more senior people, it's a bit like, you know.
Yeah. Try to do it with my under 9s now, under 7s, just a box, passing around the box in the square. They couldn't do it. I was thinking, are you winding me up or what are you? And I think,
you got promoted though, didn't you?
Division 1 next year. Yeah.
You do change though. When I retired, I wasn't sure I wanted to be a coach, and so I went on the courses and done the A licence and what have you. And then, as you go through it, and then you do stuff after it, you get better and you get more confident. And the best thing I did was I came here and I'd done the academy lads. So I worked with the young lads from under 11s all the way up. That was the best thing I ever did because it got you used to numbers and putting sessions on. And
I thought about physiotherapy, me. Like you've seen me. Like, I always seem to migrate to the physio room. I feel like you can be a bit more relaxed as a physio. You can have a better like connection with the lads. You know what I mean? It's still a bit of crack there, isn't there? Whereas if you're a coach, I feel like it's a bit more serious. It's a more professional environment. Whereas obviously you still got professionals as a physio, but
been trying to get you down mine for months, Anna. Come see the kids. It's not having it.
Friday I came.
What was your excuse you were there?
No.
He said, can't be, Missy's got yoga.
No. It was Pilates.
Pilates,
yeah. Get it right.
But what did you do? He sent me a proof. He went, what have you got tonight, love? And she thought he was on about this. She went, meatballs.
I'm making me meatball, by the way. Fantastic they are.
I love meatballs. I keep meatballs really.
Make them from scratch or?
No.
See.
You got to, got breadcrumbs and all that.
No, I have to buy them.
You got to.
I have to buy them. Yeah, for the new food.
Oh, honestly, the video's class.
I'll show you.
It could have been worse. Could have been a sexual thing, couldn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It'd have been a bad one, wouldn't it?
Well,
maybe 5 years ago.
Right. Well, listen. I think we'll wrap it there. I think it's been a pleasure talking to you, and it's want to wish you all the best next season, whatever, and then whatever you do in the future. We wish you all the best, Tom. It's been a pleasure. It really has been.
Cheers, guys.
Good luck. Wheats.
Yeah.
What are you up to this week?
Coaching tonight. Taking Crooksy for a Parmo.
And he's going to take you for a coffee.
Coffee,
yeah. There you go. Have a little flat white and I'll have a Parmo. We'll put some syrup in it for you, so it's a bit light.
We'll do it.
Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.